All right. Hi, my name is Nathan Bruce, and you want me to talk about what again?
Treatment.
Yeah, well, people sit there and they ask me, they say, what's your first name? Or what's your last name? And I say, Bruce. And they say, no, what's your last name? And I said, that is my last name. It's Bruce. Like, well, what's your first name then? And they say, Nathan. And they're like, oh. They say, like, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% about how you react to it, right? So it's like, are you going to take that 10% and make it be detrimental to you, or are you going to make it be positive to you? So I got this like toolbox metaphor that I use, and I didn't have a toolbox growing up. I had an angry toolbox. I had a screaming and yelling, and you're just like all kinds of just negative like toolbox as a child. I purposefully made myself homeless. It was a decision that I made, and I thought that I was going to get a construction job within like 3 months. And in construction, I was making like 60 something bucks an hour, so I would easily get an apartment, making that kind of money. I was just like, well, I'll only be homeless for like 3 months. People do it. People live in their cars. And I was just like, all right, I can do this. Like, I can do this for a couple of months. Well, there wasn't any work coming. Like 3 months came and went. And I was just like, all right. 3 more months came and went. This is getting a little frightening. Around the 10-month mark, I started flipping out. Like, I actually had a mental breakdown. And then all of a sudden, I got a call from the VA assisted living place down in Ording. I got a call from them, and they said, hey, we have a bed for you. You want to take it? And I said, yeah, I'll take the bed. But I stayed there for about 10 months or so, something like that. 8 months, 8 to 10 months I stayed there. I had a caseworker working with me, trying to find housing for me. Being here ever since is just, it's been great for me, emotionally, physically. I don't know who the case manager was before Peter, but Peter here, he's very involved with this place. I see him here all the time. He's in his office like almost every single day, and he says hi to me all the time. It feels really good. That's another thing that another tool in my toolbox that I acquired within the last couple of years is repair it myself. Because I've got this like child that's inside of me that's very lost. He's scared. He's hurt. So I'm gonna have to try to take that toolbox or that tool out of my toolbox: the spite, the hate, the anger, which is hard to do. I got to take that tool out, right, and replace it with another tool of love and compassion. It's been great living here. I love living here. And this isn't something, we're using this, to me, this is like a catapult. I'm using this as a catapult. This isn't a lifelong thing, right? I'm not gonna be using this program for the rest of my life.
You at your deepest, darkest self, what would you say to yourself?
If I was sitting in front of my deepest, darkest self, I would say, look, you're not alone. Eventually, I will have a great career in psychology, and we'll be able to get wherever we want to go. We'll be making great money. We'll be helping good people, and so you're gonna be okay. Just trust the process, and don't feel ashamed about it. That's the other thing. It's just like don't be ashamed about having to use these resources, because we weren't given that tool out. We weren't given that toolbox. To live life. We were given a terrible toolbox. This is a place where I can actually add tools to my toolbox, and I'm really looking forward to using those new tools. The real power of having a place like this is that I actually feel like I'm a human being. right? I don't feel like I'm a statistic or just a nobody, right? I actually feel like I'm cared for. I feel like I'm loved. There's people that are here for me, right? And that's very empowering in itself.